always like my images to think of words to go with the illustration. So even, gosh, I hate to say it, but I was literally 18 months old, and I'd draw something and I'd say to my mum, worm, and she'd have to label it worm. So worm and images always went together. They just went hand in hand. And, if it was mummy and daddy in a field, my mum would have to write mummy and daddy in a field, or if it was a worm. Yeah, apparently worms were one of my things to draw, but yes.
That's lovely.
Yeah, so no, words and images always, that was a very strong connection for me. Yeah.
Does your work have a specific colour palette? Is there colours that you like to include, or certain, do you go more pastel, or do you go heavily saturated, or do you make sure it's more primary colours? Is there anything where you have a preference?
I actually, no, probably not. But interior design, and that's a completely different aspect of lots of in my home. But in illustration, I tend to adapt my style to suit. I work closely with a lot of authors, and they will have an idea, or they'll have seen some images that they really like, and I'll draw in my style, but I might just twist the colour theme or just something in the style that they like to fit the client, basically. So I do adapt and change, which can confuse some people. And say, gosh, is that your work as well? I said, yes, it is mine.
Wow.
Yeah, so it does. Yeah, my style actually changes, and I'll just evolve it slightly differently for each client. So in a sense, I suppose some people say you're almost like a graphic designer illustrating, rather than having the fine art side where you have a much more specific, strong, recognizable style. But yeah, that's
fantastic.
The way I've got.
Yeah, that's lovely. So yeah, that's really interesting. Is it the same with the mark making as well? Do you change the kind of style of the draftsmanship?
Yes.
That's interesting.
I mean, the basic sketch, the underlying sketch is always me, but maybe the final sort of top drawing, when we go back to thinking about the layers and procreate, then at that stage I'll write, okay, I'll hone it just slightly more, leaning towards a particular style that the author likes.
Oh, wow. So is there, aside from Quentin Blake, is there anyone who is a specific inspiration to you? Or, I mean, it doesn't have to be artist, is there? Sometimes I ask for people for inspiration, as though it could be poetry or music or wherever, or nature, or, what is a good source of inspiration for you outside of I mean, I do highly rate Quentin Blake myself. I do absolutely admire his work.
Yes, I do love the energy of his work and the zany quality, and the fact that his drawings, they appeal to young and old. He might do an illustration and you wouldn't say, well, you pitch that at a 7 to 8 year old. It's actually quite acceptable for an adult to sort of see illustrations like that in that style in a book for them. It crosses all the ages and genres, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
he is my absolute favourite.